folks? It's the Blind Guy here, coming back at you with a very special episode of A Blind Guy's View. On this one, we are taking a look at 1984's Ride the Lightning, performed and recorded by Metallica. And on this episode, I'm going to rank the 8 songs on that album. I have not seen anybody else's rank on this. This is my opinion. And this is how I would rank the 8 songs on Ride the Lightning from 1984. So I'm going to switch over to the computer here. I'll show little snippets and have you hear little snippets of parts of the songs that I really like, my favorite parts. And we'll probably get a copyright claim, but probably not a copyright strike, hopefully. We'll see what happens. So I will see you on the other side when I move on over to the computer. All right, folks, we are at the computer here for the Blind Guy's View ranking of the 8 songs on 1984's Ride the Lightning. Just a little background. The first song I ever heard from Metallica obviously was Enter Sandman. That's probably the case for a lot of you. And the first album I bought was Load. I got it on cassette tape. And then I bought 4 compact discs all together, and it was Ride the Lightning from 1984, Injustice for All from 1988, I think, the Black Album from 1991, and Reload from 1997. And I had never quite heard anything quite like Ride the Lightning when I first listened to it. The first song off the album I heard was Fight Fire with Fire, which is one of the thrashier songs you'll ever hear, especially from that time period. So this is just how I view these songs. There's, to be honest, this Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are two, in my opinion, two of the greatest thrash albums ever made. And a lot of that's the reason I play guitar. But I didn't get Master of Puppets till later. So Ride the Lightning will actually have a little special place in my heart, as Metallica's one of the first 2 thrash albums I owned of theirs. So there's not a bad song on the album, to be honest, so I'm going to feel bad putting this one at number 8. But I made it just the play button so you guys can't tell which song it is. And I'm going to play the part that I like the best. And so, number 8, this is the part from it I like the best. Here it is. Yes, that is Trapped Under Ice, which I've never actually really understood what Hetfield is going for with that one. Is he just writing a story about somebody actually trapped under ice, or is it metaphorical or allegorical? I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but it's a good song. I love the wide openness there of that guitar riff. The bum 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 bum. And then the little, classic Hetfield downstrokes, little chugs in there to fill space. Awesome. Great song. Number 8 on the album. So, number 7. Let me find the spot I like in it, and then we'll reveal it. So the part I like best on this one is right after the solo, and here we go. Yeah, Fight Fire with Fire. You can hear the double bass there back when Lars was quite a bit younger than he is now. It just has that just relentless bump, 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 bump. But just a ton of downstrokes in between all that. Very cool. But to be honest, it's a little bit, I don't know. I prefer the wide openness of Trapped Under Ice in parts over this. I just think Fight Fire with Fire, because of how impressive of a thrash song it is, that's why I put it in front of Trapped Under Ice. Alright, here we go. It's actually during the intro, and there's no distorted guitars, believe it or not, in the part I like the best. So here we go. That is Call of Cthulhu, or Cthulhu, like it's spelled on the album. This one actually probably has dropped a little bit for me. It's totally instrumental. It's about 8 minutes long. I can tell you actually exactly how long it is. 8 minutes and 53 seconds. It's actually almost 9 minutes long. And it's very cool. Those two riffs, that dun 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 dun, that building riff, and then the dun dun dun. Those two riffs are repeated a lot in this song, and that's why they're very cool riffs, but I think they're overdone. And so I wish, for a 9-minute instrumental, I wish it had had a little bit more to it. Maybe some ebbs and flows a bit more. It does have a cool thing where they rip into that towards the end, that bum, bum, bum. That's a very ominous riff. It's very cool. But I just think if you're going to write a 9-minute instrumental, you're going to have to do a little bit more than this. But still, very influential song, very cool song. But that's number 6 on the album. All right, number 5 on the album. Let me find the parts of this one that I like the best. So here we go. Here's number 5. That's actually the part of that I like the best. Let's Ride the Lightning, the second song on the album. I just like how it goes from the da-na-na-na-na-na, that riff, to just chugging, just straightforward metal, da-na-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the guitars start doing it first, and then the drums get into more of a conventional beat there, and just things start chugging along, and then we hear the story about somebody on death row. This is back when Metallica wrote songs that were much more thematic in nature and much more, to be honest, drawn out from point A to point B, that you actually had a linear story going on in a lot of these songs, but they just don't seem to do that anymore. I'm not sure what's going on there, because I'm pretty sure it's Hetfield has always written most of the lyrics, so I'm not sure why he changed his style there. But from about Saint Anger on, they just stopped developing their lyrics quite the same way. I just haven't thought that they were quite as good. I know it's popular to rip on them now and everything. I'm not wanting to do that, because I think they're the most influential metal band of all time, and I'm never going to just rip on them. But it's unfortunate, in my opinion, that haven't gone back to some of their lyrical styles from these earlier albums. So that's number 5, Ride the Lightning. So here we have number 4, which I think is a song that would actually make it not as high up on a lot of people's lists. It's kind of hard to say. I don't want to say ranked lower, but when I say ranked lower, I mean it's actually a higher number. So I have this at number 4 on the album, and I think a lot of people probably would rank it 7 or 8, to be honest. I don't like the intro of this song, but after that, it really starts going. I really enjoy it. So here's the part I like the best. Yeah, so you get those nice big 80s metal drums, and then it just starts grooving again into that fading out riff, and you hear the harmonized vocals in the background singing Life's for My Own to Live My Own Way. Just a very cool way to end the song. So that's Escape. That's the 6th song on the album, and my number 4. All right, here we go with the big 3. All 3 of these I think are instant classics. I think I have them in the order I like them the best, but it might actually adjust around a little bit from time to time. But these are 3 of Metallica's biggest songs ever written. They got 3 of them off of this album, which is really pretty amazing. And so here we go. This is number 3. So here's number 3. And with this one, it's the part right after the chorus, and then you get this cool middle part. I'm not even sure what you would even call it, an interlude or something. And they did the same thing on Welcome Home Sanitarium, the 4th song off of Master of Puppets, where they come in and they do this totally new guitar riff with new vocals over the top of it. And I always viewed this song as being Welcome Home Sanitarium's sister song, because I think that they were modeled after each other quite a bit. But here you go. Here's Fade to Black. Oh, so cool. Such a cool riff there. Dun, 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 dun. That was great. All right, so number 2, which would also then tell you what number 1 is. And let me find the part I like the best on number 2 here. So apparently I really like a lot of the parts that Metallica does coming out of a solo, because they usually throw something new at you at that point. And so here you go. This is the part I like best. Very, very cool. The coolest metal song ever written about Moses, Creeping Death. And I believe that riff was actually written by Kirk Hammett. It's probably in Phrygian or Phrygian dominant, because it has a very Middle Eastern sound to it. But just it breaks down, and you have that, they're shouting, singing die in the background. By my hand as I creep across the land, killing firstborn man. Such a cool song, and cool source material too. I guess the story behind it is Hetfield and Cliff Burton were watching the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston on TV, and Cliff Burton came up with the phrase "creeping death" at that point, and so they wrote a song about it. Very cool. In my opinion, the second best song in this album, and then no surprise there, number 1. Let me find the part I like the best about it. And here we go. Oh, so cool. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Great lyrics. 2.5-minute intro before the singing even starts. My mom always says, when are they going to start singing? I always tell her, just wait, they will. But it goes into that chromatic riff there. Dun, 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 dun. And then we roll into a triplet section with Kirk doing those little triplets, just repeating triplets. It has this nice marching feel to it, because it's all about marching into war. Awesome song. Loads of fun to play live. Loads of fun to play on guitar. Highly recommend learning that. You can cover a lot of different things in that song. Doesn't really have a solo, which is interesting when you think about it, because of the time period that it came out. I mean, you have the triplet section, and you have later on some triplets that are actually played by James. But I'm trying to think if there's another thrash era Metallica song without a solo. And this one might be the only one that I can think of, at least. So that is my number 1 song on Ride the Lightning. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's kind of fun. I had fun putting it together. I used the website Pub Meeple, which has a ranking engine on it. You plug in your options, and then you just pit them up against each other, and it creates a list for you. And so that is my list. The number 1 song on the album is For Whom the Bell Tolls, and my least favorite song on the album is Trapped Under Ice. But to be honest, they're all great songs on this album. In my opinion, we'll have to see when we get to Master of Puppets, but those 2 albums, in my opinion, are their strongest. I just don't know if I can think of anything we'll have to see. I'll do Master of Puppets coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is the ranking video for Metallica's Ride the Lightning. If you'd like to support the channel, contact me using the email address in the description and we can set something up. Or you can use the Amazon link to buy whatever you want on Amazon. It does not cost you anything extra, and I do get support that way as well. Thank you guys so much for all the subscriptions and the comments and the like. They make this way more fun to do. And I hope that you guys enjoyed that video because I do it all for you guys. I'll see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay.